Yeah, hi. I know I said that I wasn't gonna make a video this weekend, but I was reading the Bible, and I know it's shocking, right? I was reading the Bible. Shocking, I know. Yeah, anyways, yeah, I was reading the Bible, and I was reading book of Luke 7:30, Luke 7. And I was reading the story of that Jesus anointed by a sinful woman. I was reading that one, and I found this fun nugget of fact, um, which kind of was made things interesting. Hold on, let me read the verse, the verses first, and then I'll give you the details. Um, so verse, if you could just turn me to really quick to Luke 7:36. Um, I guess we'll read it down to like the end of the story, I guess. So which is 50. My goodness. Okay. Okay. So where it says, I just okay. Here it is. Number 36. One of the one of the Pharisees asked Jesus to have dinner with him. So Jesus went to his home and sat down to eat. When a certain immoral woman from that city heard that he was eating there, she brought a beautiful alabaster jar filled with expensive perfume. Then she knelt behind him at his feet, weeping. Her tears fell off on I mean her tears fell on his feet, and she wiped them off with her hair. She then kept kissing his feet and putting perfume on them. Verse 39. When the Pharisee who had invited him saw this, he said to himself, "If this man were a prophet, he would know what kind of woman is touching him. She's a sinner." Verse 40. Then Jesus answered his thoughts. Wait. Yeah, I said it right. Then Jesus answered his thoughts. "Simon," he said to the Pharisee, "I have something to tell you. I have something to say to you." "Go ahead, teacher," Simon replied. Then Jesus told him the story. A man loaned money to two people, 500 pieces of silver to one and 50 pieces to the other. But neither of them could repay him, so he kindly forgave them both, canceling the debts. Who do you suppose loved him more than that? And more, who do you suppose loved him more after that? Verse 43. Verse 43. Simon answered, "I suppose the one for whom he canceled the larger debt." "That's right," Jesus said. Then he turned to the woman and said to Simon, "Look at this woman kneeling here. When I entered your home, you didn't offer me water to wash the dust from my feet. But she has washed them with her tears and wiped them with her hair. You didn't greet me with a kiss, but from the time I first came in, she has not stopped kissing my feet. You neglected the courtesy of olive oil to anoint my head, but she has anointed my feet with rare perfume." Verse 47. I tell you, her sins, and they are many, have been forgiven. So she has shown me much love. But a person who is forgiven little shows only little love. Then Jesus said to the woman, "Your sins are forgiven." The men at the table said among themselves, "Who is this man that goes around forgiving sins?" Verse 50. And then Jesus said to the woman, "Your faith has saved you. Go in peace." And now, what I wrote was was what I wrote was that that we all need to forgive. Overflowing, no matter how big or small. Overflowing love is the natural response to forgiveness and the appropriate consequence of faith. But only those who realize the depth of their sin can appreciate the complete forgiveness that God offers them. Jesus has rescued all of his followers, whether they were once extremely wicked or conventionally good, from eternal death. Do you agree? Do you appreciate the wideness of God's mercy, or are you grateful for his forgiveness? We all should forgive. Doesn't matter like who hurt us. We should, even if they hurt us a lot. So I get it. Sometimes it can be hard to forgive someone. Sometimes it can be hard to forgive somebody, and you want to get even with them. You want to get so even with them. But that's not how Jesus. That's not how Jesus. That's not how Jesus lived. Like, that's not what Jesus did. He didn't like get revenge or like, oh, I got you next time. No, he forgave them. Remember, he is a God that keeps no records of wrongs. Remember, he keeps no records of wrongs. And Jesus is humble. God is a gentleman. Jesus is a gentleman. He wouldn't do that. And and Jesus like always says that whenever somebody does something to you, you got to turn the other cheek. And you gotta be slow to anger and slow to speak and quick to listen. I know it's hard. But we all got to at least try at least once. And but it would be recommended if we do it every single time. Oh yeah, I also wrote that the Pharisees believed that only God could forgive sins. So they wondered why this man, Jesus, was saying that the woman's sins were forgiven. They still did not grasp the fact that Jesus is indeed God. Also, yeah. So yeah, even if the Pharisees believed that only God could forgive sins, like I guess they're still living in the Old Testament or something. I don't know, but but I think that's why it was still so strange to see him do that. In my opinion, anyways. Yeah, but bottom line is that we should forgive others. We should love others unconditionally the way Jesus did. And remember, the wrath is God's, not ours. God is in control of that. Just place it in God's hands. God is the pilot, not you. So just remember that always forgive because God forgive you. So I mean, if we don't forgive others, how can we expect God to forgive us? So yeah, so that's all I gotta say. And that really and another and this is the one that that got me. It was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. It comes in like in verse 38. I put, even although the woman was not an invited guest, she entered the house anyways and knelt behind Jesus at his feet. Here's the interesting part. In Jesus' day, it was customary to recline while eating. So dinner guests would lie on couches with their heads near the table, propping themselves up on one elbow and stretching their feet out behind them. The woman on the woman could easily anoint Jesus' feet without approaching the table. I honestly thought that was pretty cool. A really cool factoid nugget thing. And you see, you learn something new every day, which is why it pays, and it pays to read the Bible, because you never know what interesting facts lie ahead. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I just thought that was very interesting, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So but yeah, new video comes out tomorrow. I'm sorry, new video comes out on Tuesday. And yeah, so until then, encourage each other and yourself, and be kind to each other and your families, and keep that light shining with the gospel, and keep planting those seeds. Keep planting those seeds, and also nurture it too, because you never know who you might inspire. All right. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment and let me know in the comments what you guys think of this, because this is actually pretty interesting. This is one of my favorites. All of them are my favorite, but this is really good too. All right, so yeah. All right, God bless, and have a nice day.